The Munich air disaster truth revealed. The Munich air disaster occurred on February 6, 1958 when British European Airways Flight 609 crashed on its third attempt to take off from a slush-covered runway at Munich-Riem Airport, West Germany. The aircraft was carrying the Manchester United football team, nicknamed the Busby Babes, along with supporters and journalists. There were 44 people on board, 20 of whom died at the scene. The injured, some unconscious, were taken to the Rechtsterreser hospital in Munich where 3 more died, resulting in 23 fatalities with 21 survivors. The team was returning from a European Cup match in Belgrade, Yugoslavia, having eliminated Red Star Belgrade to advance to the semi-finals of the competition. The flight stopped to refuel in Munich because a non-stop flight from Belgrade to Manchester was beyond the range of the Elizabethan-class airspeed Ambassador. After refueling, pilots James Thane and Kenneth Raymond twice abandoned takeoff because of boost surging in the left engine. Fearing they would fall too far behind schedule, Captain Thane rejected an overnight stay in Munich in favor of a third takeoff attempt. By that time, snow was falling, causing a layer of slush to form at the end of the runway. After hitting the slush, the aircraft plowed through a fence beyond the end of the runway and the left wing was torn off when it struck a house. Fearing the aircraft might explode, Thane began evacuating passengers while Manchester United goalkeeper Harry Gregg helped pull survivors from the wreckage. The crash was originally blamed on pilot error, but it was later found to have been caused by slush towards the end of the runway, slowing the aircraft and preventing safe flying speed. They claimed he had taken off without clearing the wings of ice, which caused the crash, despite several witnesses stating that no ice had been seen. The basis of the German authorities' case relied on the icy condition of the wings hours after the crash and a photograph of the aircraft, published in several newspapers, taken shortly before takeoff, that appeared to show snow on the upper wing surfaces. When the original negative was examined, no snow or ice could be seen, the snow in the original having been due to the sun reflecting off the wings, which was clarified when examining the negative rather than the published pictures which had been produced from a copy negative. The witnesses were not called to the German inquiry and proceedings against Thane dragged on until 1968, when he was finally cleared of any responsibility for the crash. As the official cause, British authorities recorded a build-up of melting snow on the runway which prevented the Elizabethan from reaching the required takeoff speed. The club announced on January 8, 1963, that legal action brought by Manchester United Football Club against the British European Airways arising out of the Munich air crash in 1958, was settled out of court. A BEA statement said, "A settlement has been made and an application will be made to the court on Friday, January 11, to stay proceedings." Matt Busby was seriously injured and had to stay in hospital for more than 2 months after the crash, and was given the last rites twice. After being discharged from hospital, he went to Switzerland to recuperate in Interlaken. At times, he felt like giving up football entirely, until he was told by his wife, Jean, "You know Matt, the lads would have wanted you to carry on." That statement lifted Busby from his depression, and he returned by land and sea to Manchester, before watching his team play in the 1958 FA Cup final. Meanwhile, there was speculation that the club would fold, but a Threadbare United team completed the 1957-58 season, with Busby's assistant Jimmy Murphy standing in as manager. He had not travelled to Belgrade as he was in Cardiff managing the Welsh national team. With 7 players dead, Duncan Edwards died just over 24 hours later, and with only Harry Gregg and Bill Foulkes fit to play out of the surviving players, United were desperate to find replacements with experience, so Murphy signed Ernie Taylor from Blackpool and Stan Crowther from Aston Villa. The remaining places in the team were filled by reserve players including Shea Brennan and Mark Pearson. In the aftermath of the crash, Manchester United's fierce rivals Liverpool offered United 5 loan players to help them put a side together. They did manage to reach the final of the FA Cup, however, but lost 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers, and even managed to beat Milan at Old Trafford in the semi-finals of the European Cup, only to lose 4-0 at the San Siro. Real Madrid, who went on to win the trophy for the 3rd year running, suggested that Manchester United be awarded the trophy for that year, a suggestion supported by Red Star Belgrade, but this failed to materialize. Busby resumed managerial duties the next season, 1958-59, and eventually built a second generation of Busby Babes, including George Best and Dennis Law, that 10 years later won the European Cup by beating 2-time winners Benfica. Bobby Charlton and Bill Foulkes were the only two crash survivors who lined up in that team. A fund for dependents of victims of the crash was established in March, and chaired by the chairman of the FA, Arthur Drury. The fund had raised £52,000, equivalent to £1.24 million as of 2020, by the time of its disbursement in October 1958. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Kind like, share, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell for all updates. Thank you.